The journey to wish fulfillment begins with understanding the principles of interaction with reality. There is a theory that the world is organized in a way that allows everyone to channel their energy to achieve what they desire. This applies to various areas of life, whether it be financial well-being, love relationships, a general sense of abundance, or overcoming internal barriers. A careful examination of this mechanism can open the door to amazing transformations. This mechanism is interesting and ambiguous. Imagine not just a vast space with stars, but a giant mirror reflecting everything within us. According to this concept, human consciousness is a powerful magnet that attracts events and circumstances. Where the focus of attention is directed, energy flows there, forming an individual reality. As an analogy, we can imagine a room filled with various objects. What the eye will focus on will be perceived first, leaving a more vivid trace in the memory. Other things will remain unnoticed. Similarly, as the proponents of this theory claim, the universe reacts to thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. What a person pays attention to begins to intensify and dominate his life. The ignored aspects, on the contrary, recede into the background. That is why it is important to realize where the inner spotlight of attention is directed, because everyone is the creator of his or her own experience, and the universe is always ready to respond to the signals sent to it. Imagine yourself in the middle of a busy city street. Life is buzzing around you. Pedestrians are rushing about their business. Cars are honking. Music is coming from every cafe. Billboards are shouting about discounts. All this is fighting for your attention. But will you stop at every store, look in every window, listen to every conversation? I don't think so. It is the same with life experience. Not every event around us should leave a deep trace in our soul. We should not take on ourselves the weight of information noise, worry about every trifle, and take other people's difficulties personally. We have the right to choose. We ourselves decide where to direct our inner gaze, to what brings joy, inspires us to new achievements, promotes personal growth. Of course, complete isolation from the surrounding reality is impossible and even undesirable, but it is extremely important to develop the ability to filter the information flow, to separate the important from the secondary, not to dwell on the negative moments, not to let them poison our existence. It is known, the more we focus on negative aspects, the more we attract them into our lives. Is it worth it? It is much more sensible to focus on the positive aspects, on our dreams and goals, on what makes us happier. Remember, the power of attention is like a magic tool in your hands, and it is up to you to create a reality that is filled with joy or burdened with anxiety. It is not uncommon to hear the statement about the materiality of thought, that what is conceived will definitely materialize. However, this idea does not accurately reflect reality. Our thoughts do not possess the magical power of instant transformation of the world. They are more like the arrow of a compass, which cannot move the ship by itself, but indicates the right course. Each thought contains a certain energy potential, a kind of charge, and the intensity of this charge directly depends on the degree of our concentration on the thought. As an illustration, we can give an example with baking a pie. A simple desire to bake a pie by itself will not lead to a result. But if you start visualizing the pie, imagining its delicious aroma and taste, thinking about decorating options, looking for the right recipe, this thought will become an impulse to action. You will go to the store for products, turn on the oven, and start cooking. The same is true of our desires. The very thought of what we want is not yet a request to the universe. A true request is formed when we fill the thought with our energy, vividly visualize what we want, and feel joy and gratitude as if it has already come true. Conversely, when we focus on negative thoughts, fears, doubts, and failures, we channel our energy into creating undesirable scenarios. That is why it is so important to master the art of managing your thoughts, to learn how to choose which ones to energize and which ones to let go of. As folk wisdom says, think about good things and bad things will not come to your mind. Imagine that from the moment of your birth, there is an invisible companion, the universe itself. It watches your every move with genuine interest and asks only one question. What story do you want to tell the world with your life? This is where the exciting part begins. How can you convey your innermost dreams and aspirations to the universe if it does not perceive human speech? It turns out that the universe has its own language, the language of energy, the language of the finest vibrations. And this language is much closer and clearer to it than any words we can utter. Imagine that in front of you there is an exquisite dessert that causes an unbearable desire to taste it. You can endlessly describe how much you want to enjoy its taste, but it is the emotions that will give true strength to your desire. Sweet anticipation, pleasure from each bite eaten, blissful aftertaste. These vibrations, these genuine feelings, are the language that the universe easily understands. And the more attention, the more energy we invest in our desires, the more powerful signal we send to the cosmic space. It can be compared to the likes under the publication in social networks. The more likes, the more users will see it. Right now, you can support this material and share it so that as many people as possible can learn about this amazing interaction with the universe. Learn to communicate with the universe in the language of feelings. Live your dreams as if they have already become a reality. Fill them with bright emotions and energy, and then the universe will definitely respond to your call. Imagine that your life is a blossoming garden. As a caring gardener, you will naturally strive for its prosperity. You will generously water the plants, nourish the soil with useful fertilizers, carefully remove withered branches that prevent the growth of new shoots. And what to do with weeds, which take away the vitality of cultivated plants. Of course, you will ruthlessly get rid of them. After all, to hate something is to give it your precious attention, which could be directed to creation. It is better to nourish joyful thoughts and feelings, to be filled with the energy of success and love. One should expel negativity, fears, and doubts from one's inner world. This does not mean to ignore the existence of problems. On the contrary, instead of dwelling on difficulties and wasting your energy on them, you should focus on finding effective solutions, on positive changes. When we constantly think about undesirable things, it is as if we attract them into our lives, give them a chance to take root and grow. Remember the famous example. Try not to think about the white monkey, and it will immediately appear in your imagination. That is why it is extremely important to learn to let go of what hinders us, not to fight with it, not to scroll endlessly in your head, but to calmly switch your attention to something more constructive and pleasant. Remember, you are the owner of your garden, and it depends only on you what plants will bloom in it, filling your life with beauty and flavor. Thinking about time travel certainly captures the imagination, but the only true time we have is the present. The past has irrevocably faded into oblivion, and the future remains behind a shroud of uncertainty. And even the universe itself, paradoxically, exists solely in the present moment. Imagine an interlocutor whose attention is constantly scattered. He is constantly distracted by his smartphone, looking at passers-by, immersed in his own thoughts. It is as if he does not hear your words, is not fully present in the conversation. Similarly, the universe remains deaf to our aspirations when we are mentally stuck in the past or anxious about the future. Our thoughts in this state are like an echo, a sound devoid of meaning. In order for the universe to accept our messages, it is necessary to achieve harmony with it, to tune into its wave, and this wave is the present moment. That is why it is so important to master the art of living here and now, to savor every breath, every step, every moment, not to be tormented by regrets about the past, not to be afraid of the unknown future, but simply to be. Only in this state we are able to fully interact with the universe, send it clear signals and receive answers in the form of fulfillment of desires. We tend to consider our thoughts as something fleeting, elusive, like a breeze. They arise in our consciousness and disappear without leaving a trace. However, each thought, like a tiny particle, has its own energy that can affect the reality around us. Imagine how a stone thrown into water creates divergent circles on the water surface. Similarly, our thoughts, like invisible pebbles, create waves in the boundless space of the universe. But it is important to realize that the universe perceives our thoughts not through the prism of words and logical constructions. For it, the emotions and feelings that these thoughts are imbued with are of paramount importance. Imagine that you are dreaming of a new house. You can spend hours studying architectural designs, comparing layouts and choosing colors for the walls. But as long as your actions are limited to just analyzing, your request goes unheard by the universe. Now imagine yourself already living in this house. Feel yourself waking up in a cozy bedroom, making coffee in a modern kitchen, inviting friends to a spacious living room. It's a whole other level of interaction with your dreams. When we fill our desires with bright emotions, it is as if we activate them, make them tangible for the universe. It begins to perceive them with the same clarity as we do, and triggers the mechanisms for their realization into reality. That is why it is so important not just to think about our dreams, but to live them, to feel them with all our being, as if they have already become a part of our life. This is the power of visualization, a powerful tool of interaction with the universe, allowing us to become co-authors of our own destiny. In an unfamiliar city without a map, GPS, or even road signs, a person can choose two paths: wander the maze of streets, relying on chance, or try to understand the structure of the city by asking locals for information about routes, landmarks, and features. Similarly, in life, one can passively drift along without questioning one's direction, or one can take charge and become the master of one's own destiny. Expanding consciousness is precisely the process that transforms us into conscious stewards of our own lives. The deeper our understanding of ourselves, the world around us, and the laws of the universe, the more confidently we orient ourselves in the variety of possibilities and more accurately choose our path. As an example, we can take a computer game. At the initial stages, the player has access to a limited set of actions and resources, but as he progresses, he acquires new skills, artifacts, opens hidden locations, and what previously seemed an insurmountable barrier is now easily bypassed. This principle applies to life as well. As we expand the boundaries of our consciousness, we learn to see what previously went unnoticed: new perspectives, meanings, and interconnections. We realize that many limitations are just a product of our thinking, and we courageously overcome them. And most importantly, we stop being pawns in someone else's game and become conscious creators of our reality, able to make our own decisions and follow the chosen path. In today's world, overflowing with information noise, advice, and other people's views, it is incredibly easy to lose our own way. We are constantly being told how to live, what to think, and what to strive for. But behind this hum of voices, we risk losing touch with our inner voice, our intuition, our personal compass. Imagine yourself as a navigator crossing a vast ocean. You have a map, a compass, a sextant, all the tools you need. But what if they all suddenly malfunction? Will you rely on the advice of others, which can lead you to the shoal, or will you listen to your inner gut, which will unmistakably point in the right direction? And so it is in life. Intuition is our inner navigator, leading us to our true purpose. It communicates with us in the language of emotions, sensations, and premonitions. And most importantly, it never lies. Of course, it is not easy to distinguish its voice among many inner voices. Fears, doubts, complexes, all this creates an internal dialogue, which can easily be mistaken for intuition. However, there is an unmistakable sign. Intuition always speaks to us in the language of love, joy, and inspiration. If, thinking about something, you feel a surge of energy, enthusiasm, desire to act, this is a sure sign that you are on the right path. Negative emotions, fear, anxiety, doubt, serve as stop signs, warning of danger, of deviation from the true course. Learn to listen to yourself, to trust your intuition. It is a reliable guide in the world of choices and opportunities. Human subconsciousness is often compared to a giant iceberg hidden under the water column. Its visible tip is consciousness, the part of our mind that we can control. However, it is the underwater, invisible part of the iceberg, the subconscious mind, that many believe plays the decisive role in making our desires a reality. As an illustration, we can take the example of learning to swim. Theoretical training, including studying textbooks, watching instructional videos, and doing exercises on land, does not guarantee success. True mastery comes only with practice, with immersion in water, with overcoming fear and gaining confidence in the water element. Similarly, the conscious mind is like a theorist who knows how to achieve a goal, while the subconscious mind is a practitioner who translates knowledge into action. The key difference between the subconscious mind and the conscious mind is that it does not perceive verbal formulations of want or don't want. It reacts to the images, emotions, and impressions we put into it. Often, there is a situation when at the level of consciousness a person passionately wants something, but internal fears, doubts, and lack of faith in their own strength, hidden in the depths of the subconscious, create blocks that prevent the achievement of the goal. Therefore, working with subconscious attitudes, identifying and resolving internal contradictions, transforming negative beliefs into positive ones are of great importance. This is the power of repetition, affirmations, and visualizations. Constant mental reproduction of the desired scenario, filled with bright emotions, gradually reprograms the subconscious mind, and the desired begins to attract in life as if by magic. For those who strive for positive thinking, the Telegram channel offers free affirmations that help harmonize the soul and mind. You can download them from the link in the description or in the comments. Have you ever thought that the cosmos is not something external and aloof, but we ourselves are its particles, its direct continuation? All these considerations about addressing the universe, about questions and answers, in fact, represent an inner dialogue, a conversation with oneself, with one's higher self, with the deep wisdom and power that lurks in each of us. That is why it is important not just to ask the universe for blessings, but first of all to put your own inner world in order. It is necessary to understand your thoughts and emotions, beliefs, to free yourself from negative feelings, fears, and resentments, which, like dark clouds, obscure the light of our true essence. Imagine a mirror covered with a layer of dust. It is impossible to see your own reflection in it. In the same way, our consciousness, being clouded by various garbage, prevents us from fully manifesting our true nature and creative potential. That is why it is so important to pay attention to self-knowledge, meditation, spiritual practices, everything that helps to clean the mirror of our consciousness and see our own beauty and power in it. Then life will turn into an amazing dance of co-creation with the universe. We will feel its support, love, and boundless generosity, and our dreams will begin to come true easily and naturally, as if by magic. After all, we ourselves will become magicians.